Hungry elves out
Yes, yes. It's okay. All right, so we're gonna get started. Okay. So we're not gonna do the dance for the Y4C2Ts because I heard that's what we were doing for a while. We will not have you guys do that. But we want to make sure that this is always front and center, right? Because that is our belief system and everything we do funnels through that. So I'm going to give you guys an example. So one of the things we say to the people that are here at career night, so keep in mind, if you have anybody that wants to be an agent, send them to us. Equity, and I always say equity because my words get all mixed up. But anyway, equity, opportunity for all. And so what that means is that's why we're getting a scholarship for people to actually give them a leg up into the real estate business. And we do not require them to actually join with Keller Williams. So just as an FYI. We do ask that they meet with us once, but that's it. So, and if we had them mandatory join us, then it wouldn't really be opportunities for everybody, right? It'd be opportunities for only those that join us. Right. So keep in mind, that's the thing that we funnel everything through. Okay. All right. So what's the one thing you're winning in? What I was going to do is have you guys take time in your little rows, because I see we're all in seats and desks, is to just shout out. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Just shout out what you're winning in. Life. Ooh, okay. What else? Right? Who exactly? You do win. Actually, you do win, and therefore I know you can catch. If I can throw. Sorry. And what does it say on there?
I don't know, my wife took it.
There she goes.
That's usually what happens. Oh. It says you are strong.
Ooh, okay, there you go. All right, so anyone else? What are you winning at? Jerry. Wait, Jerry.
I'm winning because my dog's tail is finally healed and I don't have to walk her outside anymore.
You had to walk her because the tail was
healed.
Oh, you had to hold her.
I had to hold, I had to hold her.
There you go. I get it. It
And I
didn't click until
I
now.
made him do it too.
Okay. All right. What does that say, Jerry? Where's your candy say?
It's right here.
Oh.
Okay, next. One more. Oh, go ahead, Tia.
I hiked and climbed blocks over 20 miles last week.
Really? Hey, I'm not going to throw it. I wasn't answering. What does it say, Tia? Okay, you are. One more over here. Who was it? Tracy said.
I'm winning because I'm lucky again. So my kids are also healthy, so I can be here.
Love it. You catch? Obviously, I don't know how you throw it. Okay.
Wow.
Stop saying that.
I can throw. Yes. Taisa, one more, and then we're done.
Oh, I just said organization connection.
Okay. Well, you can share it with somebody. Because, all right, let's keep going. All right, so again, guys, TCPA, just making sure that you are complying with that. If you have questions, please see this lady that's coming up right now to speak. Okay, Susan, go ahead.
So this is totally coincidental, but I need two helpers to help me with my presentation today. I'd like to ask the two newest agents in the room, I think, Chris and Marissa. Come on
down, you guys.
So I want to talk a little bit, just for.
Hi, everybody. I'm Christopher. Good to meet you. Christopher Kirster. Last name.
I'm Marissa Green.
And they are just literally days old. They're baby brokers. We're going to talk some about the buyer broker compensation conversation. I just have some ideas for you to incorporate into this conversation because I know that it's a new wrinkle, a new facet to our communication with our clients, and it can be very stressful. So these two are going to toss out some of these stress balls to help you in, while you're formulating your new conversation. Just throw them out.
Oh, wait a minute.
Headshots.
I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm not ready.
There we go. Oh!
Whoa!
Anyone else? Anyone else? Everyone. Oh.
Okay, thanks to our new broker for our stress a little bit.
Good?
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you to my lovely assistant. Let's come down a minute. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about good practices as we're implementing the changes due to the new agency law. And remembering that we bring value to the relationship of buyer and buyer broker. And although articulating this to the client is somewhat new to us, it can be stressful, you now have a tool to deal with that. And I also have for you to take as a handout afterwards. This is from National Association of Realtors. This is 179 ways agents who are realtors are worth every penny of their compensation. So this has a whole bunch of, I mean, it has 179 things. Okay. So these are some items that you might want to incorporate into your conversation as you find relevant.
Here, I'll take them. I'll put them right here.
I didn't.
I'm gonna put them up here for those who want them.
And I can make more copies. I think I made about 20. It's great to have such a great turnout, but probably not me. It's probably chilly, but that's okay. So do we have do we have another slide? Okay, pitch points. So remember that everything in real estate is done in writing, including our relationship agreement. This is as you're speaking to your buyer. It's now required by law. And we both know what to expect of each other. And we both know we can count on each other throughout the transaction. Another line I like is, once compensation is established, I can negotiate payment by the seller. You will instruct me on whether you want to see listings with less compensation. If so, you can direct me to negotiate with the seller to pay them, for them to pay your obligation. And they may even increase their offer of compensation. Establishing your value. When you hire, and you guys have so much value in your experience, in your education, and in the value system that you live by. I'll put all my experience, training, and the resources of my firm all to work for you. I'll search for properties that meet your needs, send you information, set up a search, you can go through details. I'll show homes to you on your schedule. When you select a neighborhood, I can research what successful offers are including. I can provide you with a CMA so you can evaluate comparable homes and price ranges. And this really serves to educate the buyers on values and trends. And I used to also take print color copies of interiors of the, say, the 3 top comps, so that they could really look at, instead of just saying this one's updated, then you can actually show them what's updated in this house versus another house. And you have and will continue to cultivate good working relationships with other brokers to keep open lines of communication and smooth out negotiations. And I counsel people a lot when they're negotiating situations. And if you have a good working relationship from the beginning with the other side, that really serves you well. One line I've used with other brokers is that kind of paves the way at the outset of a transaction is, hey, it's always great to work with another professional. I really look forward to a successful transaction, getting this done smoothly. Remember, we all have the same goal. Seller wants to sell, buyer wants to buy, and we all want to close. You can refer them to capable professionals who want us to succeed. For example, a lender. You can guide them through the inspection process and contract negotiations and renegotiations. And helping them solve problems and unanticipated issues is huge because most buyers are not going to be able to predict things that crop up. Some things are welcome, some things are not. But one of the things I love about our brokers is that we are all problem solvers and are all keeping our clients' interests paramount at every stage of the transaction. Develop and practice your pitch. Get to know your client. Listen to them. And as always, we tailor our communication style to meet the personality of our clients. Set a time for a meeting, whether it's your best friend, your sister, or a complete stranger. That lends an importance and a gravity to the business relationship. Make sure that you take notes on what they're looking for, what their goals are, and finally remember that you can't help everybody. And I could tell you my story, but I learned the hard way that if they don't take your advice at the beginning, they're never going to take it. And you're going to work for a couple of months and have absolutely no return. So I learned that as a new broker. Free advice. Worth what you pay for it. Okay, why should a client hire you? You can explain the depth of your market knowledge. And not only do you have a beat on what buyers and sellers are experiencing in a local market, you can provide insight on, not just the street and the neighborhood, but the city, the state, and nationally. Information on that broader market with interest rates and lender requirements shows them that you're the expert who can empower them with knowledge so they can make good decisions for themselves. You have another one? Offering expert service, marketing, property showing, staging, available properties, expanding search based on buyer criteria. And have any of you experienced the scenario where you start out in one specific neighborhood or one specific area, and then you quickly expand your geographical regions? So that flexibility is very important. Creating and offer terms, structuring an offer, counter offer, prioritizing specific deal points and what they mean to your buyer in terms of the transaction itself, the importance of contingencies, and even advice on amounts of earnest money. And by the way, is earnest money required for a valid contract? No, it is not. But it does have that psychological edge. It says to the seller, I'm serious about buying your property and here's some money to show it. You work with third parties like inspectors, contractors, manage communications, and provide access to a property for third parties who need it. And some further ideas for discussing compensation would be, I get paid only when the transaction closes. We'll be partners in the process. And then talk about specifics of selling office commission. Anybody know Bruce Hardy? Yeah. I never forgot a presentation that he made when I was a new broker. And you guys may have all, so raise your hands if you've already heard this, but he never went on a listing appointment without $6 $1 bills in his pocket.
Yeah.
And so when a client would say, well, that's a lot of money, that percentage, that represents a lot of money out of my net proceeds. Where does that all go? So he'd pull out the 6 ones and he'd say, this was back in the days when seller and listing and selling compensation was tied together. So right away, you take those first $3 and say, this goes to the other broker to provide incentive for them to bring us a buyer. And of these 3 remaining dollars, 1 goes to my expenses. I'm an independent contractor. I run my own business. I have to pay for my own education, my own car, signs, license, enumerate a bunch of things. Another 1 that goes to my firm. The final $1 out of all those 6, he said, this is how I take care of my family. And he said it never failed. So, good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah, and speaking of that, Bruce is gonna be coming, actually to our office. And yeah, and the next, I think Dennis is not listening.
Because she's talking.
21st.
Being disruptive.
I think it's the 21st. When is Bruce gonna be? When is Bruce gonna be here? That's cool.
I have no idea.
You too? Okay, hi Debbie. All right.
Okay,
Okay, hi everyone, Debbie.
our scenario for today is Chris John came to me yesterday and he has a condo that was listing and he said it's a non-warrantable condo. So I wanted to tell you what the difference is between warrantable and non-warrantable. To put it simply, a warrantable condo meets the lending criteria established by Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, our conventional piece, and has several financing options available. A non-warrantable condo does not meet Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, VA, or FHA established criteria. Financing options are limited. There's broker options that are available. And I did check with one yesterday, they wouldn't do it, but it typically would require a larger down payment, good credit, possibly cash reserves, a fairly strong buyer. Just kind of as a reminder that you can always ask us, we've got like 6, 7 different people that do these types of financing, ITIN numbers, any of those, and we'll just go back to the chart and see if your person fits the criteria. He has a VA buyer that would be, there's a VA one for sale in there and they're assumable, so that loan could be done, but that was it for that project. And then just as a reminder to help my friend Susan, because the question still comes up, no, the VA buyer cannot pay brokerage fees. And then that was that. And then I have another slide. This is the class that Greg's actually going to teach it. I'm just going to feed you and have some handouts for you. But I went and took it in Kent last week and it is very, very well done. He's done a great job being able to present all the different options that are available for people that want to sell and buy both without having to sell first. And then we have the home buyer class on Tuesday night.
Taisa is on Monday.
The 12th, okay.
Yeah. You want me to do that, Taisa?
Yes.
Okay.
More papers. All right, so everybody, give your name.
Oh, no.
Not if you make
Well,
a
you
hammer.
I mean, you don't have to hold it. I just got obsessive about holding.
What's the favorite one?
It's up for a prize. I have more papers. Here you go.
I'll hold mine special.
Okay, everybody just write your name. Stop it. On the paper. Who needs more paper? Just write your name on it.
Yeah,
Okay, so this will be quick because I know we're excited to eat chili. But in the last year, we've had a lot of time to hear the stories of some really successful agents out there. The MREA podcast came out, and week after week, we got to hear the journey of these top mega agents. And to be honest, if you listen to the stories, they're all really similar. In general, it's somebody who had a varying degree of unsatisfactory life growing up. A lot of people have had a lot of different challenges, and when we stop comparing our, insides to somebody's outsides, and we can just accept that everyone's journey is different. But in general, most agents come to this from a place of they weren't able to go to an Ivy League school. Maybe they didn't have the best upbringing. A lot of us come to this from a place where we need to grow more in our life. And then you hear the story of, this person had nothing and then they went all the way up and now they're a millionaire real estate agent or a multi-millionaire real estate agent, etc. And the journey is almost always the same. They needed to get there. They didn't want to get there. They needed to get there. They had to get there. There had to be a reason in their life and their journey, whether it was their spouse, their parent, their children, their own personal experience, for them to say, I'm going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be uncomfortable calling my friends and saying, hey, let's talk about real estate. I'm going to be uncomfortable and I'm going to give up my Sunday afternoon baseball games so I can hold 3 open houses on Sunday and 3 open houses on Saturday. So there's some piece of their journey that they've had to set aside the comfortable place that they're in and create change and find this handy book that I brought, is all wrote your name on paper for. The one thing that you're going to be your focus to make your next steps the ones that lead you to success. And so I have a prize for today, and if Billy would
I'm gonna shake it up a little bit.
I don't know, somebody's pink here. Not looking, now there's a color in there. All right, so who's up?
Okay, here we go.
All right, so the free book for today is Debbie McNeil. So.
They say rigged over there. Kind of looks like it, but.
All right, so the quote that I wanted you guys all to think of is Socrates' quote, and I have to look at my phone because I want to make sure I don't say it wrong. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but building the new. And that is what I wanted you guys to think.
Okay, Thaisa and her nuggets. She always has something. Thank you, Thaisa. Oh, okay. All right, so, oh, and then you have this as
You
well.
should come, it's really great.
So if anybody needs a scan, please do. Okay, Ty.
We're doing it on Zoom a lot. If you're in the office, it's a little quieter, but we have several people coming on Zoom. And if you've got something specific you want to work on, try to send me a note ahead of time so I can prepare for that.
It's really good. I've seen it. Okay, so we're going to talk about quickly, because I know you guys are ready for some chili, right? I can see it all out there. We're going to talk about asking the right questions. So one of the things that we did before, we did the whole question off, remember? And I believe Susan won. Did you win the last time we did it, where you had to ask, keep going deeper with questions? So I know that Kent wasn't able to do it, so that's what they're doing. But for me, I wanted to focus on a book, and I reached out to several agents yesterday and asked if you guys knew or had been using or anything about this book called Exactly What to Say. It's one of my favorite books because it is really simple for me. I like simplicity. And Jessica uses it, and she would have been perfect, but she has an appointment that she had to go to, so I was going to kind of go back and forth with her on that. So now guess what you guys get from me when that happens? A video. Okay. And a video that's going to be in real time, not fast, because there's some people that don't want to listen too fast. And but it's going to talk to you about 3 words that you can use to convert your leads. And so this is super important, and I would listen to it so you can figure out how to apply it to your life.
Thank you. So that's what you can say after that, isn't it? Thank you. I know you love your word choices, the choices that are provided for you, the exact words to say. We work on loads of words to say, and I call them my magic words, because magic words are so important. What makes them magic is they talk straight to your subconscious brain. What your subconscious brain is a huge part of your brain that makes decisions for you every day without you even knowing about it. So you know when you go to sleep at night, you don't have to say, remember, breathe in, breathe out, all the way through the night. That way you don't die. You just do it. I'll give you another example of where your subconscious brain has come into play. Have you ever maybe been on the school run, or maybe on the run to and from work, and you remember getting into your car in the morning and getting out when you got there, but you can't remember a thing about the middle? That's your subconscious brain. It's so powerful, makes decision for you time and time again without you knowing a thing about it. It supersedes or trumps your conscious brain. If any of you are thinking, I haven't got a subconscious brain, what your subconscious brain is that little voice inside your head. If any of you are thinking that you haven't got a little voice inside your head, it's the little voice that's telling you you haven't got a little voice. So we've all got one. What's magic is if you can talk straight to this little voice, you can get decision quicker and easier than you can in any other way. Subconscious brain works like a computer. It only has yes and no outputs. One of the biggest reasons that we don't get success in sales is we get customers stuck in maybe. Maybe doesn't pay. We need a yes or a no. Let's get decision quickly and easily. I've got 10 of these magic words, but I'm going to share 3 of them with you today. First one's remarkably useful at getting people to buy more when they're between 2 scenarios. I was watching your new products yesterday, and I saw them great new tableware sets where you've got, what was it, 4 plates, 4 salad bowls. Never seen salad bowls before. 4 soup bowls, 4 mugs. Now, I don't know about you, but most people would probably need more than 4. But you'll be at a show and somebody will be saying, do I buy 4 or do I buy 8? Do I buy 4? Do I buy 8? Do I buy 4? Do I buy 8? Can you imagine that happening? We want them to buy 8, don't we? So if we simply said, would 8 be enough for you? The little voice says 8's enough. In fact, it's plenty. And we can make it remarkably easy for them to pick the 8. Could you use that with which size starter pack somebody might use in the business? Which one they might go for? Or when we're talking to them about the opportunity, finding out how much money they want to earn. Could we say, would 200 a month be enough for you? Would 300 a month be enough for you? Would 500 a month be enough for you? Would 1,000 a month be enough for you? They can only answer the question that's posed. If anybody is between multiple quantities on anything and you use the word enough, you'll get them to pick the bigger, providing you are reasonable. Second set of magic words is perhaps even more powerful. And what makes this so powerful is a little bit of extra psychology. Do we all know that human beings are a little bit like lemmings? We follow what other people do. Did anybody join this business, say, because their friend or somebody else they knew did it? Or because they dined out on the trust of somebody else saying, hey, this is a good thing to do? Was that a catalyst for decision? So often is. Knowing that people are like lemmings and that they copy what other people do, if we can get that collective decision into our conversation, we can be far more persuasive, have far more influence, and be far better negotiators. The 2 magic words I'm going to give you this time can get people out of indecision remarkably quickly. If I use the 2 words most people, a little alarm goes off in your head and says, I'm most people. So if that's what most people do, there's a good chance that could work for me too. So how could we use that? You know, what most people would do in your circumstances is they would take on board the opportunity, have a go at 4 shows. You can get 4 lots of people together and then see what the results are then. Well, see, sense. So many scenarios where you can use the words most people that can get decision from people like instantaneously. It's remarkable. Have some fun with it. And if you want to practice it first, go practice with your other half tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday. See what you can get them to do using the words most people. Are you calm now? Third set of magic words come to when you get people who are really stuck in indecision. Have you ever had somebody say, I'm really not sure if it's for me. I just need a bit of time to think about it. And you're thinking, what? What do you want to think about it? We've gone through it. It's a no-brainer. It makes sense. Why won't you just do it? You're thinking that, yeah? And you can't say that to people, can you? Because that's rude. You can't just say, what is it you want to think about? Tell me. So we say things like, okay, I'll leave it with you. Give us a call back in a couple of weeks. Let me know what you want to do. So I figured I've got to find a way. How can I preface really direct questions that get me a direct answer that put me back in complete control so they have to give me the real answer? Because so often that's not the real answer, is it? So I'm just pushing this decision away for another day. So I learned that if I prefaced a direct question with the words, just out of curiosity, I can ask pretty much anything I like afterwards. So just out of curiosity, what is it specifically that's stopping you from moving forward right now? So just out of curiosity, what is it that would need to happen for you to make a decision over this? So just out of curiosity, what is it specifically that you wanted to think about? Try not answering that question. Nigh on impossible gets you the real answer, but by using those magic words in the front, you get the answer you were looking for, the real one, which is probably an objection that you know how to deal with, something that you can work around, something that you can help them make their mind up by holding their hand over the fence. We like the magic words? I've got loads more, and I'll do my best to make them available to you in due course.
So right now, is there anybody that uses any phrasing around that when you're either on smart plans or, so can you share anything, Larissa?
I use just out of curiosity a lot.
Yes.
A lot.
I do that as well. It's like, ooh, just before we hang out, just out of curiosity, yes. And it works, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody else?
Most people.
Most people, okay. The one that I use is, it's on a smart plan and it basically says, have you given up on finding your perfect property, right? It's the first question I ask when it's a scale search, and I know that they're not looking at the searches anymore. So I asked them 3 questions, and the first one is on my smart plan, have you given up on finding your perfect property? And then I go and ask the second one, right? And then the third one, and basically it's saying, do you want me to adjust your parameters, that kind of thing? Is your timeline changed? All of that. But just by asking that one simple question, I get responses right away, or I did, I should say, when I was obviously aging. And I get responses right away, go, oh wait, no, I haven't given up. And they'll tell me what their situation is, right? So it helps that, and that was it's in this book. So the first 3 people that raise your hand, Jackie, okay, Vicky and Tracy. I don't have this physical book, but I have the Audible. So I'll send you guys the Audible so you can at least start on this path. Okay. All right. So time wise, does anybody else want to share anything? Questions? Yes, Tracy.
I want to share an incident. A week and a half ago, I have an agent from KWRBN reach out to me with a text. Show it for me. Sure. So, Vic here. Okay, make sure you have form 42 fill out. Okay. So I text him back. Make sure you have form 42 fill out. Okay. Right. I follow directions. So he said, if you don't take it, I'm not taking it. I go, no. The law since January 1st said you have to fill it out. So I call Susan. Susan, I'm doing just a show face. I'm doing a show. On the form, make sure that he understands who's the buyer and you're just doing showing only. So I go talk to your DB, right? So anyhow, long story short, Susan, one thing, yeah. So Susan goes, Tracy, if you have any conversation about the house or the market, that needs to be filled out. So Susan, that's an exception to the rule. Says you're not gonna have any conversation. I go, well, I know the alphabet, but I'm gonna sign it. Hi, my name is Tracy. No conversation, so that's the one exception to the rule. Right? So I just want to share that funny story. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's keep going so we can get you out of here. Announcements. So we have lots to announce. So here we go. Right now for family reunion, you can see Federal Way. We did move up in terms of number. We're still in the 3rd spot at 35. So good job, everyone.
You want to go?
Okay, obviously percentage wise, we haven't made it on the board, but hey, we're gonna go with the 1 win. All right. Okay, there's a QR code if you are still interested. I believe Melissa could have scored a good price if there's someone that's still wanting a ticket. So a price for the actual event. So let me know if that's the case. Say it again. Oh. So I know, Dennis. Okay, so congrats to these individuals. So these are going to be panelists. So Carla and Cheryl are going to be panelists on the Built Strategy Partnership, win-win. And then David Knight is going to be a panelist on Elevate Your Expertise to out what I can't read. And then Joshua and Casey are going to be on another panel. And then so is Rosie. And then Tori found a panel. So his panel obviously presents 2 days. So that's really interesting. So anyway, congratulate them when you guys see them. And then again, Northwest Glow Fest. So we're gonna put together, those of you that are going, we're gonna put together little swag bags. So that way we have our glow sticks and all the stuff that we need. Okay. And then how to create and convert leads. So Rosie has this class that is going to be happening on the 8th at 12 p.m. in the Kent office. So those of you that can go, please do go, because this is going to be an amazing class where she is going to give you her tips, tricks, and tidbits on how to do that. And we know obviously Rosie, right? So what she has accomplished.
If you don't know Rosie, who is she?
So Rosie is one of our, well, it's our top, one of our top agents. She is our, I think she's working on her, well, we always say this in class, her 3rd net million, right? And you know, Dennis's goal is to have 100 net millionaires in our world, RBN. We're now, I think, what is it, Dennis, 36-ish? Okay. So what else do you want to say about Rosie, Dennis? Anything else?
She's our top agent. Their team does, I don't know, a couple hundred sales every year, so might want to
They
look at
did-
what she's doing. and
Yeah,
make
they
things
did
work.
4 million last month. So in
Last
volume.
year. Oh,
Last month in volume. Okay, so this is perfect for those of you that are going to be hiring people to your team. I know there's a lot of you that are getting ready to do that right now. So please make sure that you sign up for this class. It's Thursday, the 22nd here in this office, and Pam's going to be teaching it. So that way you guys can get a good feel, leg up, head up in terms of who you want to bring onto your team. So you know you're bringing the right person.
This is a great class, even if you're not. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Oh,
it's a
okay,
really great
yes.
class for you guys to know how to work with anybody that you
Right.
encounter.
How you read your client, how you know don't waste their time. I mean, if they're high key, they just want to get to the point.
Yes.
If you're spending all this time in the details, you're just gonna lose them.
Perfect example is I had a question for Dennis yesterday, and I was talking to Gwen about it. She goes, remember, you tell him you get to the bottom and then work your way up based on what he wants to know. And I was like, got it, we'll do that. Yes, because Dennis doesn't want to fiddle around.
Stressing me
Exactly.
out right now. I have to squeeze this.
Exactly. Okay. Okay. The next one is Ignite. So for those of you, remember 16 transactions and under is what we suggest for Ignite. So you don't have to be a brand new agent. And we're going to be starting it again. It'll be Mountains of Sound. It starts on March 4th. And remember, it's from 1:30 to 4:30 every day, and you get a new teacher. So it's not like someone that's teaching it over and over and over, right? So you get a feel, a flair for, and it's really the ALC members that are going to be doing that. So you'll get to know them and know what's going on. So please attend. We do have a Q1 shred event coming up March 23rd. Okay. So please make sure that if you have clients that you want to have them attend, make sure you get on this program, because one, you guys will have smart plans again, yes, right? So then that way you can start on your smart plans and getting out there so they're aware of it and when it's happening and all of that.
So how did that go
Same.
last year? You guys know
Okay.
it's a shred event, not a trash event.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Yeah.
Ty said, remember, it's a shred event, not a
Yeah.
trash event.
Yeah.
Right, so how did that go last year?
Jackie, oh yeah, Tracy.
I had some people come, and the thing is that, it's good that you say not a trash event. But the thing is, the shred company also posts something about it,
Mhm.
okay, at their place. So our last person that came through, it was a lot of trash. So it was gross.
Okay,
And me and Alan went, yeah,
okay.
it was not good.
Oh, okay. Sorry
So,
about that.
that's all right, but otherwise it went it went well.
What's the point of it? What is the point? Why are we doing this?
Well, yeah, and I do want to understand it too, because my mind goes, I want to do it in June. That's when my mind says it should happen after taxes, but
Okay, so if you don't know, there are going to be 4 events throughout the year, one each quarter, that you can invite for your clients. So a lot of agents do client events. This is something the office is putting on, so you could do a client event if you're a solo agent or maybe a small team and you don't want to front all the costs. That's what these events are for. So when we say it's a shred event, it's not for us as agents to come and bring all our stuff. This is for you to push out to your database as an event you are putting on. And we're doing all the legwork for you. You just show up. So
Sorry, Dennis,
And
got
what's
it.
the point of, what is the, why
It's
would we
an
want our clients
easy
to
touch
show
to
up?
your database. If you, we talked about, Taisha said being uncomfortable to have a real estate conversation. How easy is it to call them and say, by the way, I've got a shred event. Would you like to come in attend? That's a great, easy way, no reason to be uncomfortable about making that call. And what comes from it is the real estate conversation. So it's $50 to be a part of it, which is a steal of a deal. You can't do that for $50 on your own. If they get 20 or more agents, we will also have food and beverage there. So keep that in mind. The QR code is to register for you as an agent, like I want to do this. We are creating the smart plans for you guys. It is a plug and play.
The other thing is you'll also get calls or texts from people who go, what's a shred event?
Yeah.
So it does, what's that?
It
So it
creates
creates-
Yeah,
conversation.
it creates
yeah.
conversation, yes.
So again, this is literally ideally a plug and play for you guys who are doing all the legwork on the back end. Definitely utilize this. If you don't have anyone that shows up, it's still a win. So keep that in
Yes,
mind.
because you got to
Use
reach
it
out
for
to
your
them.
touches. Any questions?
It was great last year.
It's great last year.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Yeah.
So again, we will have 4 events. They're not all shred events. That's just one of them. So keep an eye out. There's something at least every quarter that will be coming up for you guys to push out to your database.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yay, Jack. Thank you, Jack.
There it is. So I get it what Dennis was trying to ask me. It's a curse of knowledge, right? Because I've heard this so many times in my head because I know it. I didn't think to like explain it all to you guys because I feel like we all knew about it. Sorry. So anyway, now you got the real deal. Did we skip something? Okay. All right.
Uh-oh.
Thank
Got it. All right. Okay. Well, okay. Go enjoy. Children. Thank you for being here.
Oh.
Okay.